welcome everybody. This week I've been thinking about a trait that I believe is very crucial for everyone to actually work on and grow in. And I remembered about this trait because I was actually thinking about a time when I was taking Zamar and Joseph, our sons. We're taking them for a recording, and we're doing a recording scene for one of our children's church programs, which airs on our national TV. And this was an exciting time for them, in as much as Zamar had been on that program before, but it's always exciting for him to be on that program, and this time with his little brother. So it was excitement all the way, from the point where they were preparing, preparing in actually doing the moves and all of that. They were so excited and so pumped up. I mean, as we were driving, going for the recording, Cynthia, these guys were just excited. But one thing that really shocked me is that when we just walked into the recording room, I saw their, excitement just disappearing. It was as if, fear just got a hold of them as they saw the lights, saw the cameras probably, and saw the crew. They were just scared. And it seemed like, the courage that they had and the excitement that they had, it just disappeared just like that. And I thought to myself, this is something that so many people struggle with. Many people struggle with the idea of showing up at the point or in the moment that they are expected to show up. During the preparation stages, some people really build on their false courage, if I can call it that, and they feel like, I'm ready to do it, I'm ready to express myself, I'm ready to speak out, I'm ready to present, I'm ready to actually get my idea out. But the moment they step on the stage, step into that place where they actually have to do the thing and show up, fear just gets a hold of them, and they struggle to courageously handle the situation in the rightful way. So that reminded me of how important courage is for everybody, literally for everybody.
Totally loved your experience, Berven. You know what? I could actually visualize those two just freezing the moment that they got into the recording room. But you know what? That is what we have told ourselves, that in those moments where we need to be demonstrating courage, fear has got to be absent. But that is not true. I'm just remembering what Mark Twain said. He said, courage is the mastery of fear.
Right.
It is the resistance of fear and never the absence of fear.
Right.
Meaning that in those moments where you need to be demonstrating courage, fear is going to be there. But what you need to do is to master it, and you need to know how to resist it. So the difference between those that are courageous and those that are faint-hearted is that the courageous, they acknowledge that they are afraid, but they seize the moment and they take action.
Right.
Whereas those that are faint-hearted, they flee and they abandon the mission.
Wow, that's really good. So the difference is not in being fearful or not, but the difference is in how you respond to the fear.
Precisely.
that we all find ourselves actually struggling with. That's really good. And it's very important for us to deal with this, Cynthia, because I believe courage is something that's very crucial for everybody, because we are expected on a day-to-day basis to show up, right, in many ways. I often say, for people who serve other people, I often say it's important for you to have courage, because in order for you to serve people consistently, you actually need to have courage. If you don't have courage, it's difficult for you to consistently serve people. You can serve people one day, here and there, or every other day, right? And you show up the rightful way. But the other days that you're not showing up the rightful way, it means you are inconveniencing those people that you are actually expected to serve. So you need to have courage that despite what's happening in your life, despite what you're facing, you are going to show up and serve people very effectively.
Actually, because you're talking about how we show up as social beings, one way or the other, we are serving people, whether we know it or not.
Right.
And in many moments in our day-to-day lives, there are moments whereby we need to demonstrate courage. Maybe you've never thought about it before, but it could be as easy as you speaking up during a meeting so that you just voice out your idea. You need courage to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And it could be you just saying your truth in front of your friends, and you know that that truth could be unpopular with them, but you need to say it anyway. You need courage to be able to do that. And it could actually be you learning a new skill, because when we learn, we get to expose our weaknesses. So you need to be courageous to be vulnerable if you're going to learn a new skill. So yeah, there are different instances where we find ourselves having to be courageous in a day-to-day basis.
That's really good, Cynthia. So this is why we want to talk about courage. So we're going to talk about 3 ways that you have to work on if you are going to grow in this area of courage, right? So the first point, Cynthia?
Okay, so the first point, courage has to be driven by necessity. You need to know your why. Why is it that you have to show up more boldly? Why is it that you need to demonstrate courage?
Yeah.
So when you're clear on your why, it will fuel up the boldness that you need, that you will be able to step up courageously. So you need to have the necessity. You need to be clear on your necessity, on your why.
That's good. That's good. The second point, I'll simplify it in this way. 3 words. Let love lead. Now, when I'm talking about allowing love to lead, I'm talking about your love towards the results, the end result of you showing up in an instance or in a situation or in a specific way that you are expected to show up. The result that you're going to get, the joy that you're going to feel or experience, the impact that you're going to see, like in the lives of the people that you would have shown up for, or in the lives of the people that you would have influenced or transformed, the impact that, whatever you're going to say is going to make, right, in your organization, for example, or in your community, whatever the case. But let your love for the end result drive you. Let your love for your vision, your love for your goals, for example, your mission, let your love for that just drive you. Your love for the people that you serve, let it drive you, and let it actually help you to deal with any doubts that you might be having of yourself. And then, you just focus on that end result.
So good, so good. Let love lead. Totally love that. But now it's making me to remember of this scripture, because we have been talking about fear and now we're talking about love. There is this scripture that says love drives out all fear. And I am thinking that, when you're now clear on how much you love the people that you serve, how much you really love the goals and the results that you are going to come after you achieve those goals, that fear that you had, it just fades away when your love is stronger. So it's like love, it gives you that conviction to be bold.
Exactly.
Okay, so
exactly.
I'll go to town with this one.
That's good.
So let me just go to the third one.
Well, you could go to town.
No. All right, so the third one is exercise courage.
Right.
Courage is like a muscle. So the more you exercise it, the more strength you gain and the more confident you become. So I'll just give an example. Suppose you want to improve in your speaking abilities. What you need to do is to constantly look for opportunities and grab them when you find them. So no matter the outcome, you may speak today and it may go south. It is fine. Or you may speak today and you may crush it. Fine, celebrate your wins. That's good. But what I want to say is that no matter the outcome, just continue to look for opportunities. So suppose it goes south and you don't do as well as you really wanted to, just say it was an opportunity for growth. So I'm just going to continue and look for more opportunities. That's how you exercise this courage. The more you do it, the more confident you become.
All right, so 3 ways of growing your courage. The first one, we said Courage has to be driven by necessity. So always identify the necessity of why you are doing what you're doing. The second thing is let love lead. Let your love for your vision, your love for seeing the end result of whatever that you would want to show up in drive you. And the third point is exercise courage, because courage is a muscle. So if you don't exercise it, it will stay in the same condition, in the same place. But if you exercise it, you will see it growing. So we dare you guys to do three things. We dare you, number one, to identify a specific area that you have always been scared of showing up in. A place where you know fear always takes control of you and takes control of the whole situation. Identify that place and remind yourself of why it's necessary for you to show up in that area. The second thing that we dare you is we dare you to remind yourself of your love towards the people you serve, your love towards the end result that will come after you've showed up in that area. Remind yourself of your love towards the change and, the thing that is going to come out of you showing up in that specific area. And the last thing is we dare you to exercise your courage. In every instance where you have an opportunity, make sure you take that opportunity and exercise your courage.
So we dare you to thrive and we dare you to be courageous.